Welcome to the Lawn Locker with Attitude. This is going to be the inside view. Okay, so I've already turned on the inside lights and I've tried to film this movie a couple of times today and I made a bit of a mess of it the other times. So now the theory is we're going to have a look at the inside of my hut, and I've got to admit I've had a couple of beers, right? Because I was cranky that the first 3 attempts didn't work. We're looking here at the northwest wall. Now, it's a bit of a layered effect, and up there is a curtain, and that curtain is able to slide on that suspended wire, because once upon a time this little corner here is where the children's double bunk used to go. But at the moment it's a bit of a mess, it's a bit cluttered, and what you've got is a TV with a VHS, and there's a DVD player there, and we have a wall full of DVDs, because once upon a time I used to pay $11 to rent 7 of them for a week, and then I decided I'd rather pay $10 and get to keep the one that I wanted to watch instead of watching a lot of shit. Now, those aeroplanes on the roof, that's a relic of when the double bunks were here and the kids used to sleep over there, and that was so my son could look up and see aeroplanes all the time. These sheets of newspaper, each one of them has a letter to the editor published in the Glen Innes Examiner. We have some model aeroplanes on top of some old books. We have a few videos. We have the 17th edition 1927 Dykes Automotive Encyclopedia and some of my father's books. We have the nurse's drug reference, wild food plants, psychic massage, psychology of human behaviour, psychiatry and anti-psychiatry. We also have the big book of Sarah and Hoppity, girls' science construction, great aircraft, Australia's home carpentry, golden thread book of constellations, psychiatric nursing, and then we have a pile of videos and another pile of videos. This is the is Baal Bilbora, The End of the Dancing, a book about massacres that happened here in the New England of northern New South Wales. That's the collected works of Neville Shute. See, there's 2 layers of them. I've read those to my son twice, and my daughter's heard about half of them. That's the recurve bow that Elizabeth got for her 18th birthday because she was not remotely interested in having a compound bow. She doesn't like the little twirly gig wheels. That's a little half-scale cookery that Matthew got for, I think, his 9th birthday. That's the full-scale cookery he got for his 12th birthday. It's even got a little small orange skinning knife and a sharpener. When he was 17, he took that hunting with some friends of his, and he killed a wild boar that was so big he stuck the knife in the pig fell over and the knife handle hit a rock and it broke the buffalo horn handle, and we've had to repair the handle, and that was the end of his knife fantasy. So yeah, that's kind of like the entertainment complex. Here we have, like old nursing textbooks mixed with great literature of our times, and aircraft textbooks, aircraft history textbooks. Piles of photos I've been using for making YouTube movies. 2 pairs of research cross boomerangs. Two boomerangs of identical weight, and then another 2 boomerangs of identical weight and identical design, so you can compare things. These are the boxes that the Sky Heroes came in, because, nice boxes, and haven't been able to bring myself to throw them away. There we go, that's Elizabeth's flying helmet. I gave both the kids a flying helmet and goggles when they were little, when we were playing with ultralights. We have Matthew and Elizabeth's boomerangs from when they were in primary school, painted and decorated by themselves. We have the 4-engine 2-channel radio control B-29 Super Fortress that I used to fly. We have Old Faithful, the oldest stringy bark boomerang that I've got flying. This is kind of layered, you know, like we've got a compound bow, we've got arrows for the compound bow. One of those arrows has, you know, killed a sheep, and the other one's killed a pig, and, you know. And behind that we've got the boomerang my father bought in 1927 in Yamba. And then underneath that we've got the boomerang that he made for me in 1972 that wouldn't work because he didn't know what he was doing. And it took me, I had to read a Canadian book on boomerang making to make it work. Behind that we've got the yellow box boomerang that I carved. The Sky Hero that got stuck in a tree and I had to shoot it out with a catapult and rocks. Logbooks for the Sky Hero and for the Falcon that the children learnt to fly on. And all this is hanging over the top of a topographic map, right? This is in fact my place, and we are here at the northwest corner. And over here we have my father's spoke shave. He was a wheelwright and woodsman at a coach builder's. Up there, that's a very rare bit of gear. That is a 2-foot circular ruler for measuring wooden wheels and steel tyres and working out the shrinkage rates. There's the leather quiver for the arrows for the bow, and the leather scabbard for the bowie knife that my grandmother gave to me when I was 6 years old, with a hand-carved honey locket handle. Okay, south wall. That's a 1000 to 4000 millimeter variable telephoto lens and a Praktica B100 camera body. And it's mounted on a Springfield Model 98 semi-automatic target rifle stock, but semi-automatics are illegal in Australia and I had to hand the mechanism in. So that's my grandfather's target rifle with a Chevalier College barrel sling that I made when I was captain of the rifle team. Because I was the sort of kid who took a semi-automatic to high school every time I went to school. It was considered normal. This is Matthew and Elizabeth playing with a 1970s vintage flight simulator. Elizabeth telling Daddy on holidays that she wanted him to fix the bunkroom. Matthew with a machete chopping down a tree. My 5-year-old son drew that picture of a model aeroplane after I took him to an air show for 3 days. You've got the moon photographed with this camera rig. You've got the sun photographed with the same camera rig. 60 pounds telephoto, you've got to be a bit bent. That's the moon, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, and I think Mercury. No, Venus and Mars, sorry. Notice of inclusion on draft jury list, Mr. C.J. Wharton, who lives at Swallowshit Hollow via Emerville. And here we have a driver's licence from when I used to live at Swallowshit Hollow at Emerville. Second last driver's licence. Last driver's licence. Got another gold one in the back pocket. Picture of the kids that used to be on the inside of the sun visor of my motor car. Children's artwork. Books, science fiction. Kim Stanley Robinson, one of the worst science fiction writers I've ever read. He's afraid of flying, knows nothing about ultralights. Absolutely full of shit. Everything else he writes is great, but everything he writes about aeroplanes is wrong. They're rates notices and phone bills. And oh look, up here, there we have a tool for cutting circular gaskets, a vise, a model aeroplane engine. That tool there is for putting conical ends on wooden spokes for wooden wagon wheels. A frog in a snow dome, and a miniature compass sitting in a lightweight racing horse riding stirrup with a plan for blade sections for a high speed 8-foot diameter 11:1 tip speed ratio wind turbine. If ever you really seriously wanted to have a go at making electricity out of the wind with a motor car alternator. Here we have some of the old books pile. I'm a bit of a pack rat. I just don't throw stuff out, so you know, like there's heaps and heaps and heaps of New Scientist magazines. They've also got leather bound great works of English literature from about Boccaccio's Decameron forward. Here we have the pot belly with a handmade aluminium ashtray and a 3-inch by 4-inch door. It's made for burning coke, and I burn hardwood eucalyptus in it. This is the heat exchanger that brings cold air from the children's bunk room, heats it with 50% of the radiant heat coming out of the pot belly, and the hot air then thermosiphons its way off to the kids' bunk room, and this lets you feel the temperature. There is a booster fan in it. Then we have the cooking stove, LP gas, funnel for filling up the drinking water drum, and we have "I'll miss you, Lib, me too, Matt," written in nail varnish when the kids were from primary school age and had to go back to their mothers at the end of the school holiday. We have a frying pan with a foil lid for cooking nachos. Here we have a vegetable crisper with potatoes that are getting ready to be planted. Down here, the coldest part of the hut, where there's actually no insulation on the back wall, so the cold outside air chills that wall, and that chills the food that's down in here. And this is an old Coolgardie food safe in which I keep the stuff that really wants to be kept cold, like olive grove and eggs and bread. And because I'm a vegetarian and I don't put dead animals in with my food, I don't need to have any refrigeration. Up the back there you can see spare tins of olive oil for cooking. And over here we have the pantry, and some people accuse me of keeping a grocery shop here, but who knows when the petrol's going to run out. Dremel, bits and pieces. I used to keep my clean crockery over here, but then I discovered that cockroaches abound at night time. Here we have a Galileo thermometer, some wood carving tools, a picture of my grandfather in his Curtis Jenny learning to fly in 1917. We have all manner of stuff stored up there. This is just, it's getting on for being a hell of a mess. This corner, spare clothes in the cupboard, and now they're getting back to the children's writing desks, and these are made out of chainsaw milled bunya and banksia, and there's two of them. There's matching desks, and my project for Elizabeth's Christmas present is to rescue this desk of hers with its secret compartment from underneath my entertainment complex and shift Matthew's desk into Elizabeth's spot. Woof.